What are some of our rogue decks for post-Blazing Dominion May 2026? Now make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that red Dragon Archfiend button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. Who doesn't love slapping 5 monsters together to make a turbocharged, incredibly ignorantly powerful boss monster? That is exactly what you get with this deck. Also, did I mention it can remove your opponent's entire graveyard and field from play? Which I think is the real reason that this deck is going to look very fun. Also, most of the cards were pretty cheap. You got a couple of exceptions with the new set, but I mean, like, that's just Konami, go and give us your money so that, you know, we can continue to make product for you, which is okay. I do think a lot of players are going to have a hard time digesting this deck's existence in the room, because the reality of the situation is it requires a decent amount of setup, and you know, Fool Us can actually do a lot against this. So we will have to wait and see, but I am leaving it under Rogue because it seems kind of good. Clowns. Oh boy. Are you guys going to put on your face mask? Excuse me, your face makeup? And are you going to join the circus with the new clown deck? Well, clown stuff is budget as... yeah, it's budget, which is good, which means we gotta get our our vanities rulers. Oh boy, you know, making it so that the opponent can't special summon it's another floodgate strategy with the perks of drawing a metric fuck ton of cards. And you know what? About time, honestly. I'm happy that the clown stuff is going to be a consistent pile that is going to give budget players an opportunity to actually kind of expand and play the game. Because we've needed something like this for a while. And the fact that, you know, budget Yu-Gi-Oh! Is getting a win. The only problem is budget Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are going to complain about this because they don't want to play a stupid rogue floodgate deck. I get it. GMX. So GMX kind of feels like the trap of this set. It doesn't make the GMX deck better. It makes the dinosaur slop pile better. And this is the frustration I think that players have with dinosaurs and zombies as a whole, because no matter what theme you try to power up into these two particular themes, they still end up being generic good stuff, the deck. And I would absolutely love to see something a little bit more defined from this. But the GMX stuff, I mean, you got a really good extender for the deck now, which is great. But if you're to build this into the pre-existing dinosaur deck, I don't think it's going to change a great amount. The new boss monster is cool, but like, it fails in comparison to some of the other good cards we've got. Which brings us to Hero, the other trap of the block. We are still missing a couple of tools, aka, you know what, the water mast hero. When you get the water mast hero in June, then we can have the discussion about this deck being really good. The new Miracle Ejector helps this deck out a lot. Now you can Neospace lock every single duelist that you run into in a 5-mile radius, and they're going to complain about how Hero needs to be banned because suddenly it's the best deck in the entire world. I do not believe that to be accurate. I think you've got good tools available to you to make this deck extremely powerful. But your player base is going to freak out about this, and they're going to go, oh my god, you know, Hero's the best deck. I've heard this every single time a new Hero card comes out, and it never happens. Rogue Contender. Lunalights. I think it's time that we do kind of acknowledge that, like, Lunalights, they're here. Because no matter what tournament scenario you go to, you're going to have one guy in the room that's going to lose his entire tournament run because he doesn't, one, have an out to the Liger Dancer, or two Liger Dancers came down on the field and the card needs to be limited to one or banned because it's too incredibly powerful. Get out your bingo sheet and check whichever one you want. It's still, its consistency has dropped down to Rogue. I don't think we're going to see any real argument beyond that, but I think that's where we're sitting right now. The deck is only as good as the other decks in the room, and now that Cool Tune is kind of controlling the extra deck, a little bit more. A deck like this is going to struggle just a little bit more to kind of get more of that, setup to kind of go. So we'll wait and see, but that one's up there. White Forest. Now, there is a White Forest version of the Elf Note deck. And I should have mentioned that when we were talking about Elf Note and the top contenders, because that combination could be, top 10. It's definitely very possible, but the pure White Forest variant, I don't feel like really has lost much in the way of the meta right now. Obviously, we still have Droll and Lockbird, and you can still get your entire life savings locked away from you, which can be a little bit frustrating. I mean, I'm not going to be the first person to sit here and tell you, Droll and Lockbird's a fair card, but we do know because of the lower percentile that we've been facing with this card in the format that it has actually kind of helped out some of these decks overall. So we'll wait and see where this one goes, but White Forest is still going to be here for sure with a possible meta twist. Magnet Warriors. So Magnet Warriors and DDD. So last set, before Blazing, or the one before this, we had DDD running around as a rogue contender. And then DDD kind of stepped down. We kind of went into Magnet Warriors a little bit. Every set kind of brings a rogue deck up to speed a little bit. Now, I do think Magnet Warrior might age a little bit better than some of the other real rogue contenders that we've kind of had throughout the block, which is good. I would love to see Magnet Warriors stick around, but keep in mind that there's always going to be one of these rogue challengers that kind of brings itself up along the ladder here and tends to be a little bit more inviting as the scaling of the meta actually evolves with it. Which brings us to Crystron. There's been a Crystron yummy pile running around that has been having a little bit of success. I think it's a crazy idea because somebody's going to go, don't you get machine locked? This is why we do full yummy combo first, people. Konami prints cards that say, for the rest of this turn after X resolves. Means that I can do whatever I want before we apply that effect. And people seem to not know that. It's multiple engine decks are a very, very, very scary thing in the current meta. Because these decks, they can really take the opponent by storm. And I actually kind of like that a lot. I like that we have options available to, make the meta a little bit better. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the Orcust pile has definitely had a great chance to go. Which, like how we went to Orcust, but Crystron. I do think right now Crystron has a pretty solid meta challenge to go about itself, because the way that the deck functions right now, like, you're very heavy on needing your old canine cards to focus. If you do not get those canine cards, go like this and call it a day. And that's the honest truth. I love the deck. I think it's got concepts about it to still work out, but Crystron just feels very weak right now. And obviously, you need interactions from the opponent to turn your canine cards on sometimes. But you can also still bridge the engine. I mean, like, nothing's really changed for this deck. Like, it's still doing well. It's just its canine package has been reduced throughout the ban list. And I guess that's fine. And then we have RB. For a TCG exclusive archetype that everybody just shat on and said, oh, this is terrible. It has topped a lot of regionals pre-Blazing Dominion. Like, it is a rogue deck that I feel confident needing to say is still here. Now, entering into Blazing Dominion, we will have to kind of wait and see how that's going to go. But it's a little bit rough, actually. This deck answers board control, and it needs to go second. So if some of these decks can, like, build an explosive field, oops! insert Lego sound exploding here. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.